get out of the game. Look at the stars up in the sky at the nighttime. Sitting here, watching you go insane. I've been sitting here, watching us fade away. Baby, ooh, ooh, that's just what I do, and that's just how we do it.
How you guys doing?
Doing excellent. You know, it's 9 a.m. over here, enjoying the morning. So we're chilling. We're pretty good.
It's summer over there, right? Is it spring or summer?
It's actually summer here in California, yeah.
Wow, we jealous. How's your summer going?
It's going really good. Like every day is like 90 degrees and beautiful, so.
Yeah.
We're still dealing with winter in South Africa. We're still in winter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Have you guys traveled to this side of the world before?
No, but we want to.
Yeah, we really, 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 really want to. I guess it won't be happening anytime soon because we're on lockdown with this pandemic. And I know Americans are like shut out of a bunch of places.
Yes.
It's crazy. But how have you guys been doing during lockdown? Like personally and even creatively?
Yes, well, during lockdown, it has been very interesting. I mean, I feel like the past 3 weeks, we've really gotten into a really good groove. When we first started, it was kind of a shock for all of us to just be home and just to do nothing and just to sit. We were like, okay, what's going on? Like work, right? And then, of course, we released an album during this pandemic. So doing press from home and doing performances from home has been really interesting and really exciting, actually, to just try to do fun, creative things from our backyard. And I feel like it's really been working out. So quarantine has been really good.
Let's talk about that. Whose idea was it? Turning the tennis court into a stage, because it looked amazing.
It's iconic now.
Huh?
We just know the tennis court.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad it worked out. I think the very first thing we did was Dear Class of 2020, right, for YouTube. And they came and set up all these lights at our backyard, and we walked out and it looked like a stadium show.
Concert.
And we were like, you know what? We're going to continue this.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what we did. And yeah, so we keep it going. You know, we don't want to get COVID.
Yes.
So we're staying at home and do our performances like that because it's a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah. Now let's take it back to how it all started for you guys. And when I say how it all started, it's what we see from the outside. I mean, we came to know you guys as this dynamic duo who blew our minds on YouTube. Now, when you guys first started uploading these videos of the two of you singing, did you guys ever think that it would get this big? Did you guys ever think that you would be where you are right now?
No way.
Yeah.
When we first started doing YouTube covers, we just did it because, you know, we love singing those songs around the house. We would be singing them at the top of our lungs anyways. So somebody was just like, you should just film yourself, do it. And then our older sister Sky was like, yeah, just do it. So one day she helped us film, and I remember the first cover that we did was Best Thing I Never Had by Beyonce. And I remember we posted it, we got our parents' permission, and the first 100 views, we were like mind blown. We were like, 100 views? How in the world did this happen? And then it got to 1,000, and then 10,000, and then 100,000. We were like, wait a minute. People must like these. Let's keep doing them. And so from there, it just continued and continued until, of course, it got Beyonce's attention. And from there, it's just kind of history of us going into a nice journey of our own music. And yeah.
Did you believe it was Beyonce? Sorry. Did you believe it was when you're like, I'm being catfished right now. Call me Beyonce.
I had a feeling.
I thought it was.
I've always been such a big fan of Beyonce and Destiny's Child. And I knew about how her company was called Parkwood, and I knew what the seal looked like. So when I saw that seal on the bottom of the email, I was like, something must be legit.
Yeah.
And I told Mom and Dad, I was like, and Halle,
I was like, this is fake.
I was like, no, I said, just respond to it. I said, this might be real. So the rest is history.
Wow.
And the first time you guys met Beyonce, how was that experience?
Oh, so the very, very first time you met Beyonce.
You were like 3, 4.
Yeah, 3, 4. I played a younger version of her character in Fighting Temptations, which was really cool. She's always been nice. And then Halle met her when we were at the premiere together.
Yeah, but I barely remember it.
Like-
I was like 2.
Yeah, like
right?
we crawled on the floor at the premiere to get to her, and she had this sparkly dress on, and your locks got caught in her dress.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, at the rap parties and stuff, she'd always dance with me and swing me around. And I just remember her being, like, the coolest person ever.
Yeah.
So to be able to see her again, fast forward years and years later, after we, were in talks to be signed to Parkwood, we met with her at this warehouse where she was shooting something, and she was in this white sparkly bodysuit, and it was a dark warehouse, and she literally looked like an angel coming up to us, and it felt like a dream. So
Yeah. And how was that transition? Now you guys have found a market, you all created a market for yourselves on YouTube. Now people are starting to possibly ask for your own original material. What was the first song you guys wrote, and how was the reception? Or did you guys even put that song out?
Yes, so we actually did not put out the very first song we ever wrote. I mean, we started writing songs, our own songs, when we were like 10 and 8 years old. Our dad sat us down and basically taught us song structure and similes and metaphors and all of those things that you can use to tell a story. So from there, we started writing, and our first song was horrible. It was,
what was it?
absolutely horrible. It was
What
called
Makes You
It
Sad?
was called What Makes You Sad. Like, it was bad. But from there, we kept writing every single day and just getting better and better. And, with our first album, The Kids Are All Right, my beautiful sister is an amazing producer. So she produced our whole album. We wrote every single song. We feel like when it comes to our creativity, we put our foot all up in there because it's our story to tell, and we feel like that's our right. So it's been amazing kind of transitioning into this journey of doing our own original music, and we feel so grateful and blessed.
What's the biggest misconception that people have about the two of you, be it as individuals and even as a group?
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like most people think we're like very young, right? Like when it comes to who we are and our music. And, I just turned 22 in July. My sister here is 20. And so sometimes people still think we're like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And I feel like this album, Ungodly Hour, it kind of opened people's eyes to see like we are adults and like the things we're talking about, because as we were creating this album, we were talking about things we were actually going through and what we were experiencing, whether it's love, heartbreak, or trying to embrace our flaws and learning to not hold on so tight to our insecurities. So we were really vulnerable in that sense with this album, and I feel like it kind of helped blur the misconceptions people usually tend to have about us.
All right, because now that you bring that side out, there's a song on the album where you'll talk about someone coming over from another woman smelling like you, but because the longest of time, we've known you guys as child stars from Grownish, but what part of your lives was hard to pin down with this album?
Oh my goodness. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say any part of it was hard, because when these are just like your feelings, it just kind of flows from you. I think it's more so harder for other people or like our parents to grasp. Like it's always so funny to play like our music for our parents, like after it's finished, because they have always allowed us creative freedom and we can say whatever we want in a song, like, and they won't say anything about it. But it's always like, oh, like, okay, that happened. It's always the other person that's kind of like, okay, this actually happened. But for us, it's very easy because it's just our experience and it's flowing. And with that song in particular, Wonder What She Thinks of Me.
Yeah.
Kind of stemmed from.
I heard it as a man, I was like, whoo, this sounds real.
Spicy. It's real spicy.
It's like spicy drama tea, but it was really fun to write because it kind of stemmed from this experience of meeting somebody who was just so amazing and feeling like you've known each other for the world, and then just being like, this,
you got somebody.
Yeah, you have somebody. You both are in situations. So that was fun to write about. Little things like that we take and we like let it grow.
And what's your creative process like when creating music? Do the two of you have specific roles? Does it cross over at some point? Do you freestyle it and just see how it goes? So what is your creative process when creating music?
Yeah, it varies all the time. We never like to keep it the same. We always like to spice things up because it's boring when everything's routine. And like this is our craft. This is something we love to do, even if we weren't getting paid for it, even if we weren't making money, we would still be doing this, you know?
Yeah.
So whenever we're in our home studio in our garage, whether it starts from a phrase one of us has written down, a melody someone is singing, a beat I might have been playing on the keys, something, or even like a situation, like one's going through something, we're like, I want to write about this.
Yeah.
It just goes into something new and different every time. And what I appreciate about creating with my sister is that we have two completely different perspectives, and we merge the two pretty nicely. Instead of suffocating one's ideas and what they want to say or what they want to sound like, we merge the two. So you have two different perspectives in one song, and I really feel like that's what makes us Chloe and Halle.
Yeah, I think it was beautiful listening to the album because you can hear the life experiences you guys went through, celebrating being a young woman, success, relationships, loves. There's so many layers on the album. And usually when you drop a sophomore album as an artist, you normally see a lot of features. And on your album, you only have Sway Lee, you worked with Mike Will Made It. How did Sway Lee make the cut, and how many other people didn't make the cut?
Who wanted to make the cut and still didn't make it?
Oh, that's a really fun question. Well, we love Sway Lee. We've always loved him. We've always seen him at events and stuff. And he feels like he's like one of our cousins. He looks like us. Like we feel like we're like extended family in a way. So it was really exciting to finally get in the studio with him because that was something that we were really excited about. We're big fans of him. And you know, in terms of features, he was kind of the standout one that we actually wanted to keep on the album. When it comes to collaborating with other people, my sister and I, we are open to it. And that's why with the song like Do It, we wrote that with this amazing songwriter, Victoria Monet, and Scott Storch helped produce that as well. And, you know, the song Ungodly Hour, it was produced with Chloe and these amazing producers, Disclosure, who are a sibling duo. So yeah, there were a lot of collaborations, but just Sway was the main feature. And yeah, so working on editing these songs, and for future maybe deluxe stuff, we're like, ooh, who else can we add to the mix?
That's so cool, man. And Do It is a big song this side of the world. Like, we are playing that song on high rotation on Y. Why opt to run with that single as a leading single? Yeah.
When we created the song, it was like it was a part of one of the last 4 sessions we had for this album. And we just wanted to create a feel-good song. You know, again, we don't like to force anything. We weren't looking for like, oh, let's make that hit. Let's make that song.
Yeah, we hate that. People are like, go make a hit.
Yeah, it like cuts off all creativity. You end up jinxing it anyways.
Yeah.
So in the studio, we just wanted to make something that felt really good. And honestly, I wasn't in my head about it. And maybe 2-3 weeks later, we listened back and we were like, ooh. And then we noticed, like, the people we play it for, they'd be really receptive to that song. Because, you know, usually you're really feeling a song, but then, like, other people that don't feel the same as you. But it was, like, on the same wavelength. So we were like, you know what? So we filmed a video to this one, and we filmed a video to our song, Forgive Me. And Do It was the video that came out first. So,
and you ran with that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And then everyone was doing the dance. I was not expecting that. So I'm grateful.
Now, this is for the both of you, but I'll start with you first, Chloe. What's the one thing that you love about your sister? And what's one thing that just ticks you off?
What I love about my sister is that she has the most fiery spirit, and she never takes no for an answer. And I'm constantly learning from her every single day with that. She always fights for herself and what she wants. And I think that is so inspiring, especially being a young Black woman, knowing what you want to say, not taking from anybody. And, you know, even me being the older sister, I'm still learning that from her. Things that tick me off about Halle, I don't really know. She's a pretty cool person. You know, of course, we have like our little spats here and there, like all sisters and family do. But if I didn't like Halle, I don't think we could do this together because you're always in each other's faces. So I can't really answer that part.
Yeah, I would have to agree, to be honest. My sister is just amazing, just the best person to be able to work with, and I'm the little sister, so I don't know if y'all have siblings, but you know what it's like when you're a little sibling, you always kind of look to the older one like as a leader, guidance. So she's definitely, you know, my main inspiration. Yeah, there's not really things that tick me off much about my sister. I really admire how she lets people in, how she has a very big open heart, and I'm kind of trying to learn from that because you know, very opposite in that way, because when it comes to meeting new people, I'm very like, I'm nice, but I kind of have a wall up when it comes to letting people into my heart. So I try to, you know, take and learn from her so many things. But of course we're sisters, of course we get into little tizzies here and there, but none of them last long, so there's nothing really.
It's so weird because when I watch you guys on Grownish, a part of me felt like that's probably how you guys are in real life. You know, Halle, you're very strict. You know, let's get this degree. Let's keep it focused. You fall in love on campus, and you know, you have fun like all young people. Any similarities from the characters you guys have played on Grownish that you've taken into real life?
For me, I'm not anything like Jaslyn. I'm really not. She is very confident, and she's very, sometimes she can be very rude. I'm not rude, and I would let a man get in the way of me in my work. So if Jaslyn messing up her track for Doug is not me at all. So when I read that script, I was like, girl, what are you doing? I would say I'm actually similar to Skylar. I feel like Skylar is definitely me when I am around people I'm comfortable with, like my family, my very close friends. Like I'm very witty and sassy, and just kind of that kind of sassy person, sassy attitude character when I'm around the people that I love. I'm not afraid to say what I want to say when it's with people I'm comfortable with. So sometimes it's snappy at times because that's the Aries in me. But yeah, I would say she is.
Oh, so I'm Aries also, so yeah.
Oh, you're Aries, yeah! When's your birthday?
11th of April.
Oh, yeah!
Happy belated!
Chloe, what are you? What's your star sign? Because we have.
I'm Cancer.
Cancer.
Oh, I'm the only fish. I'm Pisces. Clap for me. Yay!
Oh, man.
But sorry, what I wanted to know is, do you guys have a specific performing ritual? Like if you're about to hit up a stage tomorrow, be it, you know, the Grammys, the Emmys, is there something specific that you guys do the day before, the day of? If you can, please share.
Pray.
Yeah.
Vocal warm-ups, because you can't be cracking on stage, and lots of rehearsal, because the thing is, no matter how prepared you are or get, you have to think about your nerves, and especially when you hit the high notes and your voice is shaking and your heart's beating fast, you got to prepare for like anything to go wrong. So lots of rehearsal, because even when we do have lots of rehearsal, stuff still goes wrong. So if you only have the bare minimum, you know it's going to be a terrible performance. So lots of rehearsal, hydrating with water and tea, and praying.
All right. Since you guys are talking about prayer, it means you guys are very spiritual. And I'm going to ask you this question as someone who is from Africa. Do you guys believe in ancestors?
Ooh, nice one.
Yeah.
All right. How do you describe your ancestors, and what do you guys normally do in South Africa? What we do as Africans,
our ancestors might be different to your ancestors.
You know, and how we communicate with them might be different. We have what we call impepo,
sage.
And then, you know, you light it up, you burn, and then you communicate to your ancestors. How do you guys do it?
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, yes, we use sage a lot. We use sage for kind of cleansing our home, our space, our area. In terms of speaking to our ancestors, we do it in a different way. I mean, for me, it comes with like prayer. When I'm done with prayer and I'm just like settling in with myself, and I pray, and then I speak there. So it's not really like a separate thing for me, but that's really interesting. I'd love to learn more about that. That seems really beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like our ancestors guide us in our lives in a way. And, you know, I feel like that's why I really believe in divine timing and just going with the flow. I've learned, like, because I'm very, like, a perfectionist, I always want things to go my way and my plan. But I realize that God's plan is greater than any plan I can create. So as long as we're good people, you know, keep God first and just let life flow, you know, our ancestors will guide us and God will guide us, guardian angels and all of that. So,
yeah. Sounds amazing, man.
Because we slaughter specific animals and we also gift. So like sometimes if you burn in pepper, I'm just like, hey, here's a bottle or something. I'm just trying to chat to you. So we actually gift them too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's really, really big. So in South Africa this month, it's August. We're celebrating women. Y'all are the first, you know, ladies that we're hosting actually this month. How is it like being an independent woman on, you know, as successful independent women in this modern day?
At 20 and 22,
Yes.
I think age is also very, very important.
it is very encouraging,
Yeah.
enlightening, and sometimes it's very difficult because you're in a world and living in a society where people constantly underestimate women. But at the same time, we use that as our pillar to kind of help lift us up, because we just use that fire to make us work harder, make us put our foot firm into the ground and stand up for what we really believe in. And I really have to give huge credit to our parents. You know, they have created us to be pretty independent women, and sometimes I know they're too independent, but like even at a young age, our dad has always instilled in us, if you don't know how to do something, figure it out. And I'm happy we don't ever have to rely on anyone. Even when we get married or get in a relationship, never have to rely on any man for anything. And I'm happy that we know our power as young Black women.
Yes.
We would definitely say, to all of the women this month, that we love you and we're so proud of you, and let's continue kicking some ass.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
so
ladies.
guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.